Theo Francken, Belgian State Secretary for Asylum and Migration. Thank you for having us. Let me begin with something that surprises me a lot, to be frank. I have recently come across a large number of posts on social media where many people consider you as the Twitter champion of Flanders or the Flemish version of President Trump due to the way you use your social media. Do you think that this could explain your current popularity in Belgium?
Let me be very clear, I'm very welcome to have you, and I think it's a good opportunity to have a discussion. I'm not the Flemish Trump. I don't think it's really a compliment. I'm very nuanced on the policy of the Republicans and Mr. Trump's policy, President Trump's policy for the United States. I think I know a bit about American policy. So I'm not Trump. I don't want to be Trump. I respect the president, absolutely. I respect Mr. Trump, but I don't want to like copy paste him or to be a copycat of Mr. Trump. Absolutely not. But it's true that I'm a new generation of politician, and I'm doing a lot on social media. I'm using Twitter as a channel to really express my visions on society. And using Facebook, but also Instagram, yeah, that's true. I cannot deny that. I will not deny it because it's reality. But I'm really working on a policy with a really clear vision on migration. We will be very humane for the most vulnerable, but very strict for those who abuse our hospitality. And this is the red line of Belgian government, and we will just keep on following this line, and that's the policy that I'm like drawing for 4 years now.
All right, let me go through something specific now. Some of your remarks on social media have also resulted in a large backlash, if I may say, particularly your recent post on the male lingerie also, receive tremendous criticism. And given the fact that Prime Minister Michel has also criticized you and warned you, do you think that the way you use social media is in line with your official responsibilities?
Yes, of course. I'm a politician. It means that I've been elected by people, and I can express my opinions on society. So I don't think that's a problem. Absolutely not. I feel a lot of support within Belgian society for what I do, what my visions are on society. So I don't think that there's a problem on that side. Yeah, of course, I'm not only expressing on migration issues. I have a vision on a lot of things. Okay, this post you can discuss a lot, but I will like leave it like that because it's a bit sensitive. I never had the intention to provoke the LGBTI community. It was absolutely not my intention. So I'm not going to really discuss the post anymore. But yeah.
Well, let's take up, a little bit European level the discussions. Prime Minister of Austria, Sebastian Kurz, has recently made a call for a discussion on illegal immigration, where he pointed two countries as potential and major partners, namely Germany and Italy. Do you see Belgium, engaging heavily in this discussion? If so, what is your expectation for the outcome of such an ongoing discussion?
Yeah, of course, Belgium will be very active on the European debate on migration. For 4 years, I'm a member of JAI Council. I'm one of the ministers with the most experience and anciennity, so I'm there for a lot of years. And I really push my agenda that I think that we need another migration model, more the Australian way of having migration. So we cannot accept illegal migration anymore. This has to stop. Otherwise we're playing with the future of European Union, and we're playing with the future of Schengen zone. And this is really dangerous for European values and for European unity. So we have to step up. We have to try another route because the current European migration policy is a big failure. And on that point, I think that Mr. Kurz and I think we're on the same line. So Belgium, when it's my call, Belgium will be on that line. Yeah.
Well, since you refer to Australian approach that you discussed before applying as a model for migration to the EU, let's say if EU were to apply this, model, could you elaborate a little bit upon the specifics of this approach and how do you see that each and every single EU member states is going to indeed benefit from this model, from this approach?
So this model there are 3 points in the model. First of all, you will not make Europe home. You will not make Australia home. You will not make Europe home. So every illegal migrant who tries to come to the European Union Schengen zone will be pushed back. Will not enter the zone. Will not achieve the goal, and will be blacklisted and never enter in their lives the European Union. So we will be very strong, and we have to do this. So this will be a benefit for all European countries, because of the asylum chaos that we have now will stop, and the division between member states will stop. Second is that the second point of Australian model is that we contribute way more to UNHCR, where we really take care of refugees in the region of the conflict. So we really increase the dotation, international dotation to UNHCR. And the third point is that we take in real refugees via the resettlement program of the UNHCR, Syrians, people from Eritrea, but not Nigeria, not Ghana, Gambia. But we see now in the asylum statistics, because they're not real refugees, they're making abuse of the Convention of Geneva and making abuse of European hospitality. And this has to stop. So the Australian model is not only strict, it's also very humane. We take in real refugees, not only male, because now everybody with the boat, 90% are young male. Where are the women? Where are the children? Where are the women alone with children? Where are all the elder people? They all have to stay behind in refugee camps, in Lebanon, in Jordani, in Turkey. Is that righteous? Is this correct? Is this humane? That only young male can come from Ghana, from Gambia, from Côte d'Ivoire, from Nigeria? Is this correct? People that don't have no ground for international protection? This is not humane. This is making fun of the Convention of Geneva and making fun of European and international protection status on refugees. So no, I'm totally not, I'm fighting this. I will be revolting against this system. I'm doing this for 4 years, and I will keep on doing this, and I will win. We will win. Finally, we will win. I'm only 40 years. I have a lot of years to go, so I can sit and watch and work and pull on this model. So it will come. It will be more humane. It will be more correct. We don't have the people dying trying to pass the Mediterranean or the Aegean Sea. It will stop, because when they try, first of all, they don't achieve. So they will not pay 2,000, 3,000 euros or dollars to a smuggler to achieve the fact that they're still not in Europe, because the goal is Europe. They will not achieve. When you try to come illegally, you have to stop. This will stop totally. You will not enter our Schengen zone or our European continent. It will stop immediately. We will not have 17,000 deaths that we had since 2012 on the Mediterranean. This is a total disgrace for European values and for European harmony. This is a disgrace for Europeans. Is that humane? What is humane about the current model? You can tell me. The NGOs can tell me every day. I never get an answer. So, and third, we're only making smugglers stronger and bigger, because the human trafficking and human smuggling and smuggling of refugees and migrants is not in hands of Youssef and Brahim in Libya. This is in hands of mafia crime organizations, big international crime firms. So we have to, is that humane, that they're getting stronger and bigger? No, we have to really fight against this. So we need an Australian model to stop the boats coming. And this is my model. And this is humane, because we help real refugees in the camps in the region. We take them in via the resettlement programs, the real refugees, not all the fakers. and we say no to people drowning in the Mediterranean. It will stop. And we say no to human smuggling networks. So this model will come. In Australia, it's a big success. It's not even a discussion between the left or the right-wing parties in Australia. Everybody's supporting this one. So we need this one. So, but it takes, Australia is one country, one government. We have like almost 30 years. So in Europe it takes longer, but we will win. Sure. One day we will achieve.
Well, now maybe something technical. The so-called Dublin Rules stipulate that a person should seek asylum in the first country of entrance to the Schengen area. However, given the fact that countries like Poland, Hungary are not interested at all in taking up any refugees, whereas countries like Italy and Greece have to face tremendous numbers of asylum seekers, do you think that what we call the so-called Dublin Rules are still viable, useful?
No, we have to reform Dublin. But when we have an Australian Dublin, when we have the Australian model, we don't need Dublin. So, simple as that. So in the ideal situation and scenario, we don't need Dublin even, because we have the Australian model and they don't enter via the external borders. They can't. It's just stopping. So we need an EU-Tunisia deal. So this is not even a discussion. In my model, in my alternative, this is not even a discussion. So yeah, but current Dublin rules and regulation doesn't work. Dublin directive is, and Dublin Convention is a failure, absolutely. But Europe, I'm for 4 years watching the discussions and engaged in the discussions. We will not get out. Not in the current model, because the current model is just one big joke. So.
Well, referring to your early statement, the fact that you are a young politician, you have many years ahead to go. Bart de Wever, the chairman of your party, recently said that N-VA, your party, would like to strengthen its stamp on education. To do that, it seems that your party has to take up the next position of Ministry of Education, right? Given the fact that you are a pedagogue by education and one of the most qualified persons from your party, are we going to see Theo Francken as the next, Minister of Education?
I think that education. I'm a pedagogue, so I'm really interested in the subject. Absolutely, it's in my heart. This is really something that I carry very high in my life, because I think we only have our children education to really keep on being one of the strongest economies in the world, and one of the on moral and ethnical values, on human rights, one of the highest countries we will ever be. So we need a good next generation, and that's the future. Our children are the future. So I think that education is really, really important, and it would be an honor to do that one day, absolutely. But it will be the day in 2019, or will be the day later, that I don't know. I have a program also for migration. This is also important. It's also interlinked with education, because one of the big challenges of our education in the big cities is the fact that we have a lot of migrants coming in, and their language skills are way lower than, of course, native speaking. As native speakers, that's normal. So it keeps on being a big challenge. So it's also linked, migration, education, it's also a bit linked. Certainly in the big cities. So yeah, one day I will do that, but first I will try to keep on working on this Australian model. The day we have an Australian model in Europe, I will stop and go for education.
Mr. Francken, thank you so much for this insightful interview, and thank you so much for your hospitality.